Good evening to everybody. Good evening. Good evening to everybody. God bless everybody that is watching. Hope that I will wait for some people to jump in here so we can start our live feed. It's a really interesting, I will say, extremely interesting live feed. So if you guys can share this live feed will provide you guys all the information regarding what is happening after the migrants enter the United States of America. This will actually provide you guys information, and it will provide you guys exactly what is happening after they enter the United States of America. And it's really important. This video, it is it is extremely important. How's everybody doing? I'm Oscar Blue for Border Network News and America's Boys News. God bless everybody that is watching. God bless my country of Mexico, my city of Tijuana, and God bless the United States of America. Let's thank God for giving us two legs, two arms, a mind that we can think, a heart that we can feel, and eyes that we can see. My God, man, we have been today all over the city. And practically we've been trying to basically give you guys the actual information and factual information of what it happens and of what happens after the migrants enter the United States of America. The big question mark right here: are they letting them in or not? That is the big question mark. And for everybody that is watching, yes, they're letting them in small amounts, but they're letting them in. I had to crack my neck. And I will tell you that Pastor Alberto, practically, I went to Shelter AGAPE, which I want you guys to understand that the interviews that you are going to get are exclusive interviews from our work, from Oscar L. Blue and our managers and moderators. This is our work that we do. We go to places and, we go to places and we try to find the actual factual information for you guys to understand what is the process, and to explain to you guys how it is the process. Now, we went to this shelter. Pastor practically explained to me that more than 60 people from shelter have already entered the United States of America. Now, over 60 people that they entered legally, documented, and with a purpose. They entered legally into the United States of America. They did not enter illegally. All these people that they entered legally through the shelter of Pastor Alberto have been waiting for more than 2 years, and some migrants more than 3 years, to achieve the political or refugee or asylum into the United States of America. And now that they achieved it, they are going to enter to the United States. And these interviews will possibly just blow you away. One of them is Pastor Alberto. He explains basically how is the process to enter now with the political and refugee asylum, and who pays for all the filters before they go to the United States of America. Entering the United States of America, who's paying to taking care of them, and who's paying the flights and the buses to deliver them to their families. You're going to be amazed. And not only that, we got interviews with a migrant that she is practically tomorrow going to be in the federal funded shelter. This is the process. Let me explain to you guys in a nutshell what happens. So if a migrant was already has an appointed court date, let me put the pastor right here on the screen so you guys can understand what is going to happen. So this is what I try to analyze how the process is being done. So the Mexican government the United States asked the Mexican government, and the United States told the Mexican government, we need a shelter where they go through the first filter. And the Mexican government said, we have one. Do you guys remember that I have gone to a federal funded shelter? And this federal funded shelter, it is paid by Mexican taxpayers. The federal funded shelter that is big, that is a humongous warehouse that I've been there more than 2 times broadcasting from outside, and the National Guard is there and all that. So the United States told the Mexican government, we need a filter. Where can we put this filter? And the first filter is the federal funded shelter. So the migrants receive a first phone call from the United States government, or to the shelter, or to their contact in the United States, or to their actual contact in their phone. And they receive a phone call and they say, you're one step away from achieving the political asylum. We are in the process of giving you the number. Another phone call, and you have to be delivered to the first filter. So when they receive the second phone call, the migrants, that is when the shelter needs to deliver them to the federal funded shelter. When they get delivered to the federal funded shelter, they stay there for approximately 6 to 7 days. And in those 6 to 7 days, it's like a quarantine. So they stay there and they do a COVID exam that is paid by federal taxes of Mexicans. So they do the COVID exam. After they do the COVID exam and they stay there, the United States takes the decision on when they call them to present themselves into the port of entry to enter to the United States of America. After they call them and they call the federal funded shelter, they transport them from the federal funded shelter to the port of entry. They deliver them to the United States Customs. And after that, put attention, the CBP takes them to a hotel, which is paid by the United States government. That hotel, the migrants stay there for 3 days. After they stay there for 3 days, they already know where they are going to go and their families that they are going to receive them. If he has a hypothetical example, if a migrant has family in North Carolina, the family gets notice that the migrant is going to be delivered into their house. And they already have an appointed court date to return to see if they are going to be accepted as a refugee or not. This due to the case that catch and release has been, abolished. And not only that catch and release has been abolished, the stay in Mexico policy has been abolished. So that means that the United States now, all the asylum cases and refugee cases need to be handled in the United States of America. This is what the nonprofit organizations, the ACLU, and all these organizations have been pushing for the longest time, for the asylum seeking and the refugee seeking to be handled in the United States of America, not in Mexico. So after they get delivered, the United States government pays the plane ticket or pays the bus trip for the migrant to get to the home. And the people that they're responsible for the migrant, they sign a document that they are going to be responsible for the person to be in that particular address for the rest of time until their legal status it is designated or assigned. That is practically how I understood. So this is Pastor Alberto explaining to me in an interview. And also we have an interview of 2 migrants that they're going to get access into the United States of America. And we have another migrant, which is going to gain access, possibly going to gain access, is a migrant from Mexico who got shot by the cartel 5 times. And it is pretty graphic, the video. Possibly I'm not going to show his wounds, but he shows his wounds as he got shot 5 times and he's just barely making it in the shelter and he's running away from fear. He got shot on a crossfire. He was going to the store to get a soda, and the cartel, they were having an altercation between two cartels, and he was walking there. He got shot. They confused him for another person. Got shot 5 times. They left the property because the cartel told the owners and his family, "You got to leave. I don't want you here. I will let you survive. We made a mistake, but I will let you survive." And he left, and now he is over here trying to ask for the asylum. Those are extremely horrific cases. But this is the interview. I want you guys to listen closely. What is going on? What is the opinion of Pastor Alberto due to the problems that they are happening in the Chaparral border? That I will tell you what Pastor Alberto did. He went to the Chaparral border and he asked migrants if they wanted to go to his shelter. And the migrants said, "No, we want to stay here because if we move, we're not going to get a number." So that is the misinformation and the confusion that nobody from the government of the United States of America has come out and said, "This is the process. This is how we're going to do it." And he explained to me that the government of Mexico is not supporting and is not putting portable bathrooms and such more, because if they start doing it, you know, more people are going to come. So the camp is going to grow bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. This is why Pastor Alberto said that the government is not going to do it. I have more video, and I will edit one nice video that is going to be done later on tonight, and I will basically publish it on Facebook later on tomorrow. I wanted to do this. This is content from us. This is content from Oscar El Blue as a little 2 hours ago. This is really important information. 2 hours ago, around 2 hours ago, I was in Shelter AGAPE. This is the interview. We're here live at Shelter AGAPE with Pastor Alberto Pastor. Thank you so much for receiving me again right here at your shelter.
Oh, yes, yes.
So we have been talking, and you have been telling me that there's been some people from the shelter that they already accomplished the asylum and they're already in the United States. How was the process to get to the other side? What they did to cross, legally and documented to the other side, and also, what was the procedure for them to cross to the other side?
Well, in the beginning, the system got jammed. They said we need to register like online, but everything got jammed. Everyone got confused. There were notice in Spanish, but we have people like from Haiti and other places that they don't know correctly Spanish. And even people from Spanish get all confused that they said, okay, get online only for MPPs that have court dates in the United States, so you could start your process, so you could enter into the United States. Well, everyone thought that that's how you register and apply for political asylum. So everyone got on board that the system got all jammed, that people that are MPPs couldn't enter into the system. And we had even some immigrants that same day on the 19th, they had court dates, but they couldn't enter into the system, and they got returned back. We had several families that happened to. So at the end, well, there was a small protest and everything, just to say, hey, the system is jammed. We can't get contact. So at the end, what happened is with ACNUR, what they did, they gave us a direct email. So we communicated directly through email, and we send everyone from MPP that we had from our shelter. We sent it directly to ACNUR, and that was the procedure how we started moving people. Right now, I believe about 60 people, 55 to 60, have entered already into the United States. The majority of them had like 2 years and 2 months, so 18 months.
It's people that have already been here. So when they cross, where do they go? Do they go to their families, or somebody's picking them up, the United States government?
What is the procedure with COVID? Have you heard? Did they do the exam, the paperwork, and all that kind of stuff?
Well, basically, the procedure is this: from our shelter, I have to take them to a Mexican federal shelter. That's a place called in Colonia Presidentes by Cerro Colorado here in Tijuana. I turn them in there, and right there they give them the COVID test, and then I turn them in the morning. In the afternoon, they already have the results, positive, negative. If everything comes out negative, I believe that there's like people like from Homeland Security or something that's they do some kind of screening, and then they cross them over to the United States if they're negative to a hotel. So they go to a hotel, and when they're in a hotel, then CBP, border agents go there and they give them all their paperwork and everything, and then they make sure about their plane if they have if they're going to travel by plane and everything. They have something that they could give them a good discount for plane so that they could catch a plane wherever they're going. They need to confirm where their location, where they're going, and who's going to receive them. And that's the way. Like in 3 days, they are already in different states. Yeah,
They're already released with their family members or wherever they want to go.
yeah. We have families that have been. They said they went to North Carolina, Ohio, Florida, Denver, Virginia, New York, all over.
So around 60 people from your shelter, Pastor, they already passed to the United States.
Yes, and then I have some other immigrants that are MPPs, but what happened is they got jobs, they started working, so they're working in different factories, and they stopped being in our shelter. They rented apartments, so now they want to come on in and see if they get the opportunity to cross. But some people have their court dates or their next crossing date all the way up to August.
There's a lot of confusion right now in El Chaparral. A lot of the migrants, they think that everybody is going to get let in because of the statements of Joe Biden that he was saying that he was going to let in 300, which is the number that is incorrect. He's letting in by small fractions. It is a crisis, Pastor. Right there, I've been there more than 5 times, and it is unhuman what they're going through. Your opinion on the situation of El Chaparral, and that no governmental official has come out, and nobody from the government of Mexico has come out and said, this is the situation, this is how it's going to get handled. These people are the ones that qualified, and these people don't. Your opinion and take on that?
Well, there's a lot of confusion. Actually, they were saying 300 people, but regarding 3 different borders that they're going to be crossing by. So that means our understanding was 100 people were going to cross here and by San Isidro, another 100 through the other border, and then another 100 through the other border.
So they changed it.
So at the end, here was.
I will pause this for just 1 second. Did you realize and did you actually see how Joe Biden is continuously changing the policies of immigration? Do you guys realize that? Do you guys realize how Joe Biden said that he was going to give citizens a citizenship, undocumented citizens in the United States of America citizenship, and he said 22 million. And then he said 11 million, and now he said 9 million. Then he gave a statement saying that everybody's welcome. After saying that everybody's welcome, he banished that. He justified himself, and he said, I'm going to let in only 125,000 with no social status, meaning no MPP court date, no appointed court date, no this, no that. After that, he changed it, and he said, you know what? I'm going to let 300 per day. 300 per day. That was his statement, and I got it. And now he changed it to 300, but 100 through every border. Amazing how they are completely justifying themselves by numbers. So they're going to let in 100 through the port of entry of Tijuana, 100 through the port of entry of Juarez, and 100 through the port of entry of Bronzeville. That is close to Matamoros and Tamaulipas. No, that's 300. That's 300, yes. But you said 300 through every port of entry, and you said 300 every day. What the hell happened? When did it change? When did you came out and said a statement that it's going to get 300 per day? Now, do you imagine the harsh and the difficult process that migrants are going to go through now, knowing the fact that there are 300 per 3 ports of entry. That's 100 per port of entry. And amazingly, it's 100 only per week, apparently, or per 2 weeks. When you got, when we got thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands that they're already here, almost 100,000 that they already here and been here for almost 2 years, plus the 20,000 that they are awaiting in Tapachula and Guatemala, plus the other 40,000 that they're trying to exile from Honduras on an exodus because the conditions right now in Honduras is horrible. So you're adding all these factors and you're only giving away 100 per day entrance. It's amazing how he doesn't know the big problem of this. He doesn't know what he got himself into. And he promised something and he cannot keep it anymore. So Pastor Alberto practically tells me 100 per port of entry. 100 per port of entry. So let us go again with the interview as the interview gets better. And listen to what he says. Because a lot of people are saying, well, they're right there, the migrants. Well, why don't they move? Why don't they just move from there and go to a shelter? You got a lot of shelters. There's a particular reason why, and Pastor Alberto explains it. And most importantly, till this point, is who is paying for all of this and the transportation, the COVID tests, and all that kind of stuff. And by now, you are realizing who's doing it.
It's just only 25. That they started just with 25, but now they're starting to keep up a little bit the pace. But these are only MPPs. So people were all confused because they thought that everyone was going to enter, not only MPPs. So it was a big confusion. So the notice from Homeland Security and everyone that was telling us and telling the immigrants said, don't go to the border. Everyone that's MPP or that are active MPPs or that your or MPPs that your court went down that is not active, don't go to the border. We're gonna start the process. It's gonna be online. Just wait, but don't go to the border. But there was no notice of people that want to apply. The brand new people that want to apply. So since there's no notice of people that don't want to apply, so they're saying, okay, all that I want to do is just get on the back of the line, just wait, camp there. I'm on the back of the line, and when you're open and everything, I'm on the back of the line, so I could go register and apply for political asylum. So right now, that's all they're doing, but there's no notice when they're going to open. If it's going to be like pedestrian, that they could do it walking, or if it's going to be online. So everyone's all confused.
It's a total confusion. And in Matamoros, they're letting in apparently due to weather conditions. What is your take on the situation in the Chaparral, how they're living right now? And, you know, I saw kids showering on the streets, people taking a shower on the streets. It is really unhuman. Somebody needs to do something about it. You know, the government of Mexico, somebody needs to step into the plate and do something about it. Your take on that?
We have asked the Mexican officials and also Human Rights Department if they could have restrooms there so you could use the restrooms. You know, there's little stores there, and those little stores, they charge 10 pesos, 12 pesos to use the restroom. But it's only open from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. But after 10 p.m., little kids want to use the restroom. Everyone wants to use the restroom, so they're using the restroom all over the neighborhood. Wow. And some people in the neighborhood are now coming and saying, wait a minute, they're using the restrooms on our side by where I live. On the streets. So now we're telling the government, we have asked several times, please bring some restrooms here so that children and people could use the restrooms. But the government don't want to do it because they feel like if they take the restrooms there, more people are going to come to the border.
Yes, absolutely. Now, there's one thing that I want to do as an observation. You went over there and you asked migrants to come to your shelter so they will not be sleeping there. And they don't want to because they are under the assumption that if they stay there, they're going to get the political asylum number immediately. And, you know, that they are speculating that they will be open by the 21st or 23rd of March.
Yeah, well, we took our van over there and we're pleading with people, come, you know, why have your kids out on the street and everything? But what they tell me is, wait a minute, if I go to your shelter, I'm going to get on the back of the line. I don't want to get on the back of the line. I don't want to go all the way to the back of the line just going to your shelter. I'll stay in the back of the line here ready for when it's open, so we could go as pedestrians and apply for political asylum. So they believe it's going to take longer if they come to the shelter than being right there waiting at El Chaparral. So they don't want to go because they believe it's going to be faster there at the border.
So there you have it. That's Pastor Alberto. Thank you so much, Pastor,
Sure.
for this short interview. Thank you so much for your information.
Okay, thanks.
There you have it, people. Wow, that's incredible information for everybody that is watching. That is just incredible information. You know, it is just amazing how the turn of events, how everything has been changing. Excuse me. I've been broadcasting about this caravans for almost 3 years now. And I have seen, possibly since I started broadcasting, some of these migrants were there. Some of these migrants have been waiting for almost 3 years. Important information about this interview. Important number one, who is paying for the COVID test and where is the number one filter before they are taken over to the port of entry of San Isidro? That is Mexico. The Mexican government is the one that is paying for the COVID test, for them to do the COVID test before they cross to the United States of America. Who are the COVID testers? You got a lot of laboratories over here that do the COVID test. And the test, for everybody to know, we had the first amount of tests that came over here. They came from China. So just so you know, who is providing possibly the COVID test to our country. So the first filter, it is that Mexicans are paying for the COVID test for this globalist compact of immigration, which it is a federal funded shelter who I was there for almost 4 times. Now, from there, let's move to the other point. How it is the immigration, how do they get called to enter the United States of America? And how do they get called to enter the United States of America? It is easy. The Department of Homeland Security, or the CBP, has 2 phone calls. The first one is to let the migrant know that they're about to make up the process. And the second one is to let them know that they need to go to the filter. When they go to the filter, I just explained step number 2, that is do the COVID test. And step number 3 is to stay there for approximately from 7 to 10 days to await for the calling from the CBP to take the migrant into the port of entry of San Isidro. After step number 4, they get called. The federal funded shelter gets their own transportation and they take them to the port of entry of San Isidro. They deliver them to the CBP, the Customs and Border Patrol. After they deliver them to the Customs and Border Patrol, there is a hotel where the United States, step number 5, where the United States government is paying a hotel, which is exactly the same that is happening over here in Tijuana. But over here, the ones that they're paying for the hotel is the United Nations. The United Nations are the ones that they're paying for a hotel for migrants that they're being deported, that practically have 40% of possibility of still having COVID. I have already shown that hotel, which when they started arriving, the community where that hotel is located at started escalating in the map of Tijuana of being one of the most infected communities in our city. Okay, step number 5. So they deliver them to the Customs and Border Patrol. They take them to a hotel, which this hotel is paid by the United States government. They stay there 3 days. In those 3 days, they are processed, documentation, paperwork, and all the things that they need to accommodate and to also have a record of where the migrant it is going. Hypothetical example, let's say a migrant is going to Michigan. This migrant reports to the Customs and Border Patrol, where is he going, and the Customs and Border Patrol already have the route and already have the person that is going to pick them up or where they're going to be delivered, because that is the address which those people sign a document of responsibility that they are going to be in charge of the migrant and his process of the political asylum court date that is going to be assigned, at a day per confirmation. After they are on the third day, they leave the hotel and they can fly through plane or they can use a bus, which the United States government, it is also the United States government, it is ultimately, providing discounts for migrants to not pay a full entire price of the plane ticket or the bus ticket. This ultimately is also, paid by the United States government, and ultimately is also paid by, on the taxpayer. So, kind of like a general explanation, it pretty much tells you the scenario and how the process is going. So I understand that possibly in El Paso, there's a hotel where they are accommodating the migrants as soon as they're crossing. And also in Bronzeville, they have a camp, I believe so, that they are accommodating, and it is like a waiting process and another filter for them, for them to try to be transported to their families that they are waiting for them. And over here in Tijuana, there is a hotel where they are moving them. And from there, they are awaiting to go to their families after a long awaiting that is possibly the longest that they have waited for the longest of time. There's an interview right here. Hope that I explained to you guys, a little bit of how it's happening and a little bit of what it's actually happening. Now, let me get this interview for you guys right here. As a migrant explains right now how she is going to be accepted to the United States of America. This is a migrant that tomorrow she will be expected to arrive at the same process that I just explained to you. The same process that I explained to you right now, this migrant is going to go through that. It's a female, and she gets, emotional as her dream, the American dream, has come true for her. And this is a migrant that tomorrow she is going to be delivered to the first filter. She already has been called 2 times by the United States government, and she is going to be delivered to the federal funded shelter of Mexico. And from there, do the COVID test. From the COVID test, negative. And if it is negative, go to the port of entry of San Isidro, be delivered to the CBP. From there, be transported to the hotel. From the hotel, stay 3 days. And from there, be transported to their family. This is an exclusive interview with a migrant from El Salvador, as we had 2 interviews from migrants from El Salvador. The first one, she is going to be appointed, the court date, she was going to be appointed to enter the United States in the next 7 days. And the next one is going to be in the next month. So this is the first interview right here. Listen to this interview as I explain and as I try to translate. So bear with me in the translation as she is trying to explain, and she does not stop talking because she's so emotional right now that she has been waiting 3 years in the shelter, AGAPE, with Pastor Alberto, and she finally accomplished her dream to go to the United States of America legally. So this is her interview, and this is her explanation of the whole scenario.
How's everybody doing? Oscar Blue right here again, people. This is a migrant that tomorrow she has her MPP process and her access to the United States. Tomorrow she is going to be entering the United States of America legally documented with a purpose and COVID tested. Tu nombre, de dónde y de dónde eres y cuánto tiempo tienes aquí. Your name, from where you're from and how much time you've been here.
Me llamo Daisy Elena Medrano, soy salvadoreña, entré a México en el 2018, desde entonces estoy en esta espera que ha sido muy dura, larga, con muchas dificultades y pues debido a muchas problemas que me han pasado, cosas difíciles en mi vida, vine a vivir acá en el albergue.
My name is Darcy. I've been here since 2018. It's been a really a hard struggle to wait over here. And tomorrow, my dream is coming true. I'm going to the United States of America, and I'll be having a hard time over here in the shelter. And I arrive right here with Shelter Pastor Alberto. El albergue de Agape del Pastor Alberto te ha tratado muy bien. Es un pastor que verdaderamente tiene un gran corazón.
Muy bien.
En este tiempo que has estado aquí, has visto muchísimos casos como los tuyos, me imagino.
Sí.
The shelter of Pastor Alberto Pastor Alberto has been a great man to you. And in the time that you've been here, you have seen hundreds of cases like yours. ¿Has visto muchos casos?
Sí, muchos casos, muchos compañeros del MPP que ya han salido de acá, que ellos los han ayudado para entregarlos al albergue donde nos hacen la prueba de COVID. Como yo mañana, primeramente Dios, ya me llamaron, ya me voy a entregar. Y bendito sea mi Padre. Me siento muy nerviosa, pues me siento muy contenta, me siento una cosa muy inexplicable, como me siento alegre y agradecida con todos, con el hermano pastor y a todos los hermanos por sus oraciones que hacen para nosotros. Sabemos que no cabe duda que aquí se mueve la mano de Dios.
I don't have no words. I've been waiting for as long as a time. There's a lot of brothers that they have been here with the MPP process, and ultimately tomorrow is my dream come true. I'm going over there to the federal shelter. From there, then I'm going to get COVID tested and cross legally to the United States of America. ¿Por qué huías de El Salvador? Why were you running away from El Salvador?
Por amenazas de las pandillas y porque a mi esposo pues allá lo mataron.
For threats, again, I'm running away for threats of the gangs over there, the MS-13s and MS-18s, and also my husband got assassinated over there in El Salvador. Mañana cruzas, ¿tienes ya un lugar a donde ir o es precisamente el proceso de cruzar e ir al hotel? Tomorrow you cross, do you have a place to go, or it's the process as every single migrant, as the pastor was explaining, that when immediately they cross, they go to a hotel. ¿Vas a ir al hotel mismo?
Sí, voy a ir al hotel, pero ya me confirmó una licenciada que ya mi cruce a Estados Unidos es el 10, después de la prueba del COVID. Si es algo negativa, pues entonces estaré cruzando el 10.
From the 10th of March is going to be my exact date for me to cross. I'm going tomorrow to deliver myself to the federal funded Mexican shelter, and from there I will await my turn to be called by the United States government and cross legally to the United States of America. ¿Qué mensaje mandas a los migrantes que ahorita están en el chaparral esperando también este proceso tan duro igual que tú? What is the message that you're sending to the people that they're in their chaparral right now and the migrants that they are awaiting this process?
Pues decirle a mis compañeros que se armen de mucha fe y mucha confianza y paciencia, que Dios, así como me ha concedido a mí la oportunidad, así les va a conceder a todos pasar con la ayuda de Dios, y que tengan mucha paciencia y que no dejen de pedirle a Dios, que Dios les va a conceder.
Ask God, have a lot of patience, ask God, and be patient. Everything comes. But doing Oscar Blue right here.
The volume was really low on my end. I have only one mic. And the mic that she's wearing is the one that she has on her shirt. People are saying we cannot hear you. Speak louder. This video has already been recorded. It's obvious that it's been recorded. So it's already been recorded. So I will do the interview again, and I will stop where she's talking, and I will speak right here on this microphone for people to understand. Second of all, I want to address the audience. I'm seeing a lot of really horrible comments, and I understand that a lot of this is American taxpayers, Mexican taxpayers. Also, we're paying this. I agree or not, if not agree, that is my responsibility. I don't agree with the caravans. I have said it, before. There's a lot of child trafficking, a lot of human smuggling, and a lot of all these things. But for the 50,000 million time, I will repeat myself to my audience. I am not a Border Patrol agent. I am not a United States Custom agent. I am not a Mexican Border Patrol. I am a reporter and a broadcaster. My job is to report, get the information, and plaster it out. If you cannot handle the live feed, get out. Simple. My job is to inform. It's not to pamper, and it's not to tell people what to do or what not to do. I don't have the authority to do so. Please, for God's sake, after 3 years of broadcasting, when are you going to get it? When? When? So I will play the video again. This is a migrant that possibly tomorrow in a week, she is going to get access to the United States of America. And she has been waiting 3 years for the access to the United States of America. So my job is to go in there, ask the questions, how she got in, why she ran away from El Salvador, and where is she going. So this is the interview. I will explain what I'm speaking because the volume is real low, and then I will translate what she's saying because apparently my volume is real low. So this is a migrant that after 3 years she is going legally documented and with a purpose. So this is my understanding. And for people that are asking why she did not learn English in 3 years, you should ask your government why they are promising people around the world that they can enter your country. First, ask yourself that question instead of asking other questions that are irrelevant. Here we go.
Here again, people, this is a migrant that tomorrow she has her NPP process and her access to the United States. Tomorrow she is going to be entering the United States of America legally documented with a purpose and COVID tested.
This is a migrant that tomorrow she is going to get access, and she's going to go to the first filter, as she is going to enter legally documented and with a purpose. And I'm asking her name, where she come from, and how much time you've been waiting for the asylum seeking process.
From where you're from and how much time you've been here.
Me llamo Daisy Elena Medrano, soy salvadoreña, entré a México en el 2018, desde entonces estoy en...
My name is Daisy Medrano. I am from El Salvador, and I entered Mexico in 2018.
En esta espera, que ha sido muy dura, larga, con muchas dificultades, y pues...
I've been in this long-awaiting journey, long-awaiting journey for almost 4 years. And I'm proud, I'm finally getting access.
Debido a muchos problemas que me han pasado, cosas difíciles en mi vida, vine a...
And due to a lot of things that they have happened into my life, and I'm right here.
A vivir acá en el albergue.
My name is Darcy.
And I had to live right here at the shelter.
I've been here since 2018. It's been a really hard struggle to wait over here. And tomorrow, my dream is coming true. I'm going to the United States of America, and I've been having a hard time over here in the shelter. And I arrived right here with Shelter Pastor Alberto. El albergue de AGAPE del Pastor Alberto te ha tratado muy bien. Es un pastor que verdaderamente...
The shelter AGAPE has been treated you really good. Pastor Alberto is a guy that has a big heart.
Muy, muy bien.
En este tiempo que has estado aquí, has visto muchísimos casos como los tuyos, me imagino.
Sí.
In this time that you've been here, have you seen a lot of cases like yours? And she said immediately, yes.
Shelter of Pastor Alberto has been a great man for you. In the time that you've been here, you have seen hundreds of cases like yours. ¿Has visto muchos casos?
Sí, muchos casos, muchos compañeros del MPP que ya han salido de acá, que ellos los han ayudado para.
Yes, a lot of cases. I have seen a lot of people from from the same place, and MPP cases. And we have been awaiting this time.
Entregarlos al albergue donde nos hacen la prueba de COVID, como yo.
There's a lot of people from my country that we have been waiting for almost 3 years, and we are waiting to do it right. So we are going to get COVID tested first and foremost.
Mañana, primeramente Dios, ya me llamaron, ya me voy a entregar y bendito sea mi Padre. Me siento muy nerviosa.
Tomorrow I'm gonna go to the first filter, and from there I'm gonna go to the United States. I'm feel really nervous. I'm overexcited.
Me siento muy contenta. Me siento una cosa muy inexplicable.
She's crying. She's you can understand that she's crying, and she's saying this is an unexplainable, unexplainable thing, which I'm feeling right now. So it's I can't explain my feelings.
Me siento alegre y agradecida con todos, con el hermano pastor y a todos los hermanos por sus oraciones que hacen.
And I want to say thank you to the pastor and to all the brothers that we have been praying every day.
Para nosotros sabemos que no cabe duda que aquí se mueve la mano de Dios.
And there's no doubt that in this shelter there's the hand of God, and He has helped me.
I don't have no words. I've been waiting for as long as the time. There's a lot of brothers that they have.
I'm translating, but a lot of people are saying that the volume is real low. So whatever she just said is the other part. So I'm translating right there. Why were you running away from El Salvador? That is my next question.
Amenazas de las pandillas y porque a mi esposo pues allá lo mataron.
Because of threats of the gangs from MS-13 or MS-18. And also my husband got murdered and killed in over there in El Salvador.
Also, my husband got assassinated over there in El Salvador. Mañana cruzas, ¿tienes ya un lugar a donde ir o es precisamente el proceso de cruzar y ir al hotel? Tomorrow you cross. Do you have a place to go, or it's the process as every single migrant?
Tomorrow you cross, and it's your time to go. What is the process of every single migrant to go to the United States? Immediately when they cross, you go to the hotel. You're going to go to a hotel.
Sí, voy a ir al hotel, pero ya me confirmó una licenciada que ya mi cruce a Estados Unidos es el 10.
Yes, yes, they're going to take me at a hotel in the United States. And yes, our lawyer has confirmed that my actual day that I'm going to cross to the United States, it's on the 10th. The 10th of, I believe that is, what is it today? The 10th of March. I believe so. So, yes.
Después de la prueba del COVID, si es algo negativo, pues entonces estaré cruzando el 10.
From the 10th of March is going to be my exact date for me to cross. I'm going tomorrow to deliver myself to the federal funded Mexican.
From the 10th of March is my exact date that I'm going to cross. I'm going to deliver myself to the first filter, that is the federal funded filter. And from there, I will be going to the port of entry of San Isidro.
Shelter, and from there, I will await my turn to be called by the United States government and cross legally.
And from there, I will await my turn to cross legally to the United States of America and wait for the United States government to call me for the next appointed court date.
United States of America. ¿Qué mensaje mandas a los migrantes que ahorita están en el Chaparral esperando también este proceso tan duro igual que tú? What is the message?
What is the message that you send to the migrants that they are in El Chaparral right now, awaiting for an appointed court date, and also they are waiting for this, really long, horrible process that is done. This is my opinion. This is all the United Nations fault. They put people through all these processes. This is not the correct way to make people suffer through all these years. But I ask her, what is her message?
That you're sending to the people that they're in El Chaparral right now and the migrants that they are awaiting this process?
Pues decirle a mis compañeros que se armen de mucha fe y mucha confianza y paciencia, que Dios, así como me ha concedido a mí la...
I am, you know, I'm practically saying to all my people, to all the people that are waiting, that be patient, that if you want to migrate, correctly, migrate peacefully, correctly, documented, and also, to have patience and believe in God.
oportunidad sí les va a conseguir, les va a conceder a todos pasar con la ayuda de Dios y que tengan mucha paciencia y que no dejen de pedirle a Dios, que Dios les va a conceder.
Ask God, have a lot of patience, ask God, and be patient. Everything comes through, the process to migrate legally is
And she responds, be patient, ask God for helping you. This is a migrant that practically she is going in legally documented into the United States. She has been awaiting 3 years to migrate legally into the United States of America. I don't know what is going to be the purpose. That is not my business. I believe that we are for legal migration. And a lot of people are saying, well, they're under our tax dollar, Oscar. I completely understand that. Really, I do, because everything that is being done right now, it's under also the tax money of the Mexican people. So it's a lot of responsibility with these globalist agreements. Now, it's not the fault of me. It's not the fault of you. It's the fault that we have been allowing this globalist compacts of immigration to enter our countries. That is the real organization that we need to ask for answers. That is the real organization that we need to ask for questions. What is the agenda or bringing and bringing and bringing and bringing? Bringing and bringing, migrants from all across the world. And the whole purpose is to open the border. But what is the real agenda? And I don't know, the plan that the past president had to help build a better infrastructure in their own countries. It was a good plan, but now, this is, people in the live feed are really upset. But why you are upset if the president that is actually in your government right now for 4 years is the one that is providing this? I don't know why you guys are upset. Really, I don't know why. And it's hard to to understand that a lot of people think that illegal migration, it's, for me, it's wrong. I'm against illegal migration, and I'm against the irregularities of migrating, because there's a lot of child trafficking. And I already put I already put everybody knows what I stand for. But this is more than that. When people migrating legally, also, you don't like it. So I don't understand. Really, I don't understand. I really don't understand. And there's a comment right here that Anarchy wants to put this I will put this on the live feed. I don't want to ruin the live feed, but it says Anarchy says, Oscar, you don't get it. It's a racial issue. If it is that will be really sad. That will be really sad, because there's a lot of Americans that live over here in my country of Mexico. There's a lot of retired veterans from the United States of America. They retire in Cancun and Puerto Vallarta, in Mazatlan, and they marry a Mexican citizen so they can buy property. And they retire over here, and they're welcome over here if they're doing it legally, and they have awaited legally. There's nothing wrong with migrating legally. I believe so. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, for the 50 millionth time, I'm not a United States Custom. I'm not a Border Patrol. I'm a reporter. I'm here to report the facts. So this is an interview. This is another interview right here of a migrant that is going to be migrating in the next next week, next month. She's going to gain access in the next month. And this is her story. It's practically you guys are saying that the volume it sounds really bad. So my obligation is to translate for you guys to make the live feed be a little bit better. So here it is. This is another migrant that she is from also from El Salvador, and she is going to be migrating into the United States of America after an awaiting of 2 years and plus, awaiting to do it legally to migrate to the United States.
Again, people, Oscar Blue for Florida Network News and America's Voice News. Another interview right here with another migrant that has an MPP process, and already it is confirmed that she is going to enter the United States of America. She's a migrant from El Salvador, and she has been waiting here for quite some time. ¿Cuál es tu nombre y cuánto tiempo has esperado aquí? ¿De dónde vienes? What is your name? How much time you've been here? And from where you're coming from?
Mi nombre es Matilde, chicas. Tengo 3 años de estar en mi proceso MPP y pues la verdad no ha sido fácil, pero aquí seguimos y soy de El Salvador y pues estamos acá aún todavía esperando a ver.
My name is Matilde. I'm from El Salvador, and I've been 3 years waiting here for this opportunity. Al parecer ya se te va a cumplir la oportunidad de cruzar hacia los Estados Unidos. Me contabas que recibiste una llamada de teléfono y ya la segunda llamada es para que ya te presentes al albergue federal para hacer la prueba de COVID. Apparently, you were telling me that you received one phone call right now. And on the second phone call is when they call you to go to the federal shelter to do the COVID test so you can arrive to the United States of America. ¿Es cierto eso?
Sí.
Si tienes familia en los Estados Unidos de América que te van a recibir, you have family in the United States of America that are going to receive you?
Sí, el papá de mis niños.
El papá de tus niños?
Sí.
The father of my kids. Tus hijos y tu esposo están de aquel lado?
Solamente yo ando mis 2 hijos.
¿Le van a dar asilo también a tus 2 hijos?
Sí.
My husband is on the other side, and I'm here with my 2 kids. ¿Cuál es la razón por la cual huiste de El Salvador? Or what is the reason that you ran away from El Salvador?
Pues por amenaza y pues quisieron sacarme dinero, pero como las circunstancias de nuestro país, allá mandan las pandillas y la razón por eso fue que me vine.
This extortion, threats, and also, the gang members over there, they try to extortion us, and they put a lot of threats on our lives. ¿Cómo te sientes en esos momentos que ya se está abriendo el perímetro para poder entrar hacia los Estados Unidos? How do you feel right now that this opportunity has come to you after 3 years of long wait?
Me siento feliz, contenta, porque sé que en un momentito, pues yo sé que me va a llegar mi oportunidad. Y a pesar de que llevo bastante tiempo esperando, pero sé que Dios es grande. Las oraciones de aquí de las iglesias, pues los han ayudado mucho. Y para Dios no hay nada imposible.
Saying that she feels blessed. She's been waiting here legally to do things documented. She's been praying. She's been asking God for this opportunity, and the opportunity has come. And for God, nothing is impossible. Muchísimas gracias. Muchísimas gracias por darme esos momentos. Thank you so much for giving me these moments.
There's another migrant, which she did an interview. She's coming in legally after 2 years, and plus, her husband is waiting for her in the United States of America. And it is what it is. A lot of people are upset, and people are saying I'm not upset, but the response is really from a person that is upset. And when I first started broadcasting, in English, I remember that I was getting a lot of backlash, a lot of racist comments. I will be honest with you. There was a lot of racist comments about my skin, about who am I, about me being Mexican, and why me being Mexican and being brown, speaking in English, and speaking of American politics. And it took me a long time to make people understand that this is a border issue and that a lot of people that live in the West, Iowa, East, all the way up north, Michigan, New York, they don't understand the border issues. So it cost me a lot of time, and it got me to a lot of time to make people understand little by little how it is the valuable thing of that is called respect. I respect you, you respect me. I respect your land, you respect mine. I respect the legal process, and you respect the legal process of my land. And we have been respecting each other for 3 years. I have been broadcasting in English and giving you guys the news. I don't care about my skin. I don't care about my skin color. I don't care if I'm Mexican or I'm not. The only thing that I want is this enormous child trafficking to stop, and to migrants and people do things legally, documented, and with a purpose. In the United States immigration law, there is a process that is called asylum and refugee. I'm sorry, but there is a process inside of your legal immigration that is called asylum and refugee. If you believe that asking to enter the United States without those processes, then remove asylum and refugee from your immigration law. As simple as that. Because in the immigration law, there is asylum and refugee inside of your immigration law. And there is process to apply for it. And there's steps to go for it. And there are steps to follow to achieve the asylum or achieve the refugee. There's a lot of bad people that are doing bad things, and they are cheating on loopholes. They're cheating on immigration laws. And those people need to be prosecuted and be held accountable and be returned back to their native countries. Yes, those Americans also, activists that they have been coming into my country and teaching the migrants on how to cheat on a loophole, on how to make a fake family and a fake marriage, to achieve the immigration law and to achieve the loophole, to achieve the refugee or asylum. Those people need to be prosecuted, and I don't see the U.S. government doing so. And how you are demanding on the other side when United States activists and organizations that are nonprofits from your country, they are causing this. How in the hell is it logical that people from the United States, they are yelling on this side when the president of the United States of America is the one that opened his mouth and said that he was going to let in after the 19th of February, 300 per day? I don't understand your logic. Let's go to your immigration book of law and see if there is a paragraph that says refugee or asylum cases. And if your immigration law, if does not say that, so what are all these people and what is everybody in the world doing? I don't understand. First and foremost, I respect so much the land of the United States of America. I respect it so much. I committed a mistake, and I'm not going to reply for it again, but I committed a mistake, and I pay for my mistake. And I got a second chance to cross to the United States of America under the administration of Donald Trump. I'm so appreciative of that president. The president that is more hated in the world in history gave me a second chance and a second opportunity to cross to the United States of America, and I say it proudly. And it is a great achievement, and it is a great accomplishment under that administration to achieve a second opportunity to cross to the United States legally and as essential worker. My God, I'm so proud of myself. So if you're doing things legally, and if you're coming into my country of Mexico also legally, you don't see me, or you don't see the Mexican government asking for activists, what are you doing over here? Let me see your passport, right? It is the fault of our own government. This is why border security, it is so important in both of our countries. It is not only that we respect the United States law of immigration, The United States citizens need to respect the Mexican immigration law also. As a Mexican citizen, I have seen thousands and thousands of Americans not respecting our immigration law. And this is ultimately, the purpose is for border security. It's not for point the finger and see whose fault is it. This is for border security. Do things legally. Since we started broadcasting, I remember every single one of you. Legally, Oscar. Legally. Let's migrate legally. Documented, Oscar. Documented. And where people are migrating legally and documented, now it is wrong. I don't understand your logic also. And somebody was saying right here, it is a racial issue. I will feel really bad and I will feel really upset and also sad if I start to believe that, because I don't believe that is a racial issue. I will never believe, and I will never pamper myself, and I will never lower down into myself into one standard that I consider myself a minority. I am not a minority. I am a man that I can take care of myself, and I am a man that has the same capacities and qualities and capabilities as every other man in the land of the free and the home of the brave, doing it legally. I am a man that I can actually achieve all the things that a black man, a white man can achieve. Color, it is not a subject. Color, it is not an issue. Color will never be an issue for me. I will never feel pampered. I will never feel oppressed, because I am a man that I can go and achieve everything that I want, doing legally, documented, and with a purpose. I know I can do it. I know that I have the capacities. I know that I have the capabilities. And if I start feeling myself sorry, oppressed, that I am because I'm brown, because I'm Mexican, because of the white man, because of the white privilege, because of that, I will never achieve whatever I want to achieve. So when we achieve crossing legally to the United States of America without depending, without feeling oppressed, without feeling because of the white privilege, because of this, because of that, it is an accomplishment. Doing it legally through the front door. Respect. It is the number one thing. This is another interview that it is really graphic. Really graphic interview. And this is another migrant that, my God, people. Holy cow. This is a really, graphic interview. And this is a migrant that I don't think that I will show when he lifts his jacket. This migrant is from Michoacan. Michoacan, Mexico. He told me not to show his face for security reasons. This is a migrant that actually got into a crossfire between two cartels. Between the cartel of CGNG and the cartel of Los Templarios. Is a really violent cartel that it is located in Michoacan. This is what happened. This is what happened in his life. He was going for a soda. And as he was going for a soda, there was an altercation between these two cartels. And as he was picking the soda from the store, there was gunfire. And he got in the middle of this gunfire. And he got shot 5 times. Because he was a witness and he got shot 5 times, his family was threatened to practically eliminate their lives if they did not leave their city. This is amazing what happens. And I don't want to show this. I want to show this for people to understand what is going on in our country. And as I have talked to my God, people are saying white privilege. I said about white privilege that I don't believe in the white privilege. My God, people, holy cow. I'm not going to distract myself with really ignorant comments. I said white privilege because I don't believe in the white privilege. And if I start believing in the white privilege, I will never be capable of achieving what I have to achieve. That is the leftist mentality. For God's sake, my God. So, this migrant got involved in the crossfire. And this is how our government is awfully, horribly operating in our country. The insecurities in our country, it is so bad. The cartel dominates our lives and it dominates our securities in our country. It is amazing, the story of this man. And most importantly, how he is now in Tijuana, afraid for his life. And he's actually making an effort to be standing. Making an effort to be standing. This is actually amazing. What he says. And this is a real statement from a person that is running away from fear, running away from a cartel activity, crossfire in our country. Listen to this.
How's everybody doing? I'm Oscar Blue for Border Network News and America's Voice News. This is a really interesting interview for everybody to watch. This is a migrant from Michoacan, and his story is absolutely, catastrophic, horrible. As he was walking, he got in the middle of a gunfire between two cartels, the CGNG and the cartel of the Plarios, and he got shot 5 times. He just arrived last week asking for help for the political asylum so he can be, protected out of this situation. He's a migrant from Michoacán, México. ¿Usted es de Michoacán?
Sí,
¿Qué fue lo que le sucedió? What happened to you?
había ido yo a traer una coca para comer, pues, y ya cuando regresaba a la casa venían 2 sujetos tras de mí y de repente pues, pasó una troca blanca que llevaba a bordo 4 hombres atrás, los que me dispararon contra ellos también, pues, no sé si...
He's saying that I just went for a soda to the store. As I was coming back from the store, there were 4 people running behind me, and there was a pickup truck full with people as they were running behind me, and I was running because I was feeling that somebody was following me. ¿Qué pasó después de que le empezaron a seguir?
Pues cuando apareció por la troca nomás se vio que se arrojaron las armas y luego dispararon sin preguntarme nada ni nada.
¿Le dispararon a usted?
A mí y a los otros 2, no sé qué serían ellos o...
When the pickup truck arrived, they opened fire, and I was just walking there, and they were going directly to 2 other people. They shot the 2 other people, and I got shot also. Quedó inconsciente en el momento.
No en el momento. Ya cuando iba en la ambulancia fue cuando ya...
Perdió el conocimiento.
Sí.
I'm asking him if he was unconscious at the moment. He said no. When I was in the ambulance, I lost consciousness. 5 tiros le dieron.
5.
5 shots, I'm asking him. 5 shots. ¿Llegó hace cuánto aquí a Tijuana, Baja California? Since when you arrived right here to Tijuana, Baja California?
Salí el 24 del mes pasado aquí, de Michoacán para acá. Es como una semana y poquito. Pues.
From the 24th of February, I left Michoacán and I just arrived over here. La atención médica en México no le han ayudado para nada. The medical attention in Mexico, have they helped you?
Pues estuve en el hospital, pero ya de ahí para acá ya no me he ido a chequear ni nada, ya no.
I was in the hospital, but from there on, they haven't told me to go back to the particular place. Se puede levantar un poquito la chamarra para que
from here, he lifts his his jacket and he shows me his wounds, which I am not going to put right now on the live feed. It is a really graphical video, which I don't want to, I don't want to put this man's body into the audience. And I asked him, "Hey, can you lift it? You want to show? You want to lift your?" And he said, "Yes, I want to show." But it's amazing how these situations are happening in our country. This is the fault of Mexican government. Last week, there was a woman that she is Mexican and she was running away from fear from our country of Mexico. And she was saying, "Hey, we are demanding Joe Biden." And I said, "Hold on a minute. You're from Mexico, right?" "Yes." You don't see me running away. Your situation is way different than mine." She said, "All right, I understand that. But there's a lot of cities where it's more secure than where you're coming from. So there's a possibility for you to go to another city and you to exercise your right to ask our government of Mexico to start acting and protecting our people." In those particular situations, when you're running away only because you feel afraid, because there's a lot of violence, the neighborhood is really bad and all this kind of stuff, why don't we fight for our own country? When it's these kind of particular cases, when you get gentlemen like this, that this is a really graphic case, this is completely different. This is completely different. But when you get normal citizens, that they're only using the justification, some of them, of asylum because they're running away from fear, that is not justifiable for me, and not even in my own country. In my own country, we need to fight for our laws. We need to fight for what is right, and we need to demand our president to do things right and put the people first. Put the indigenous and the poor people first. Running away and going to another country and running from your country will never resolve it. Because one day you will be in the United States of America, sitting down in the land of the free and the home of the brave, and you will look at the TV and they will put a nice commercial of your city in Mexico. And you will be, "I miss my city. I miss my country." And inside your mind and inside your head and inside your heart, you will say, "I would have stayed and would have fought for my country." That is the most amazing thing that is happening. We need to fight for our own country. We need to fight for that. That is the most important thing that we need to fight for our own country. It's amazing stories right here. Amazing stories, of the situation with the migrants. It's amazing stories with the situation with the migrants. Hopefully, this information that we provided to you guys today, it is informative, and hope that every information of that we provided today, it's important. It's important for everybody, and it helps everybody. I believe that there's a lot of comments right here, which I'm not going to distract myself, but there's a lot of comments right here about the white privilege kind of stuff. I don't believe in the white privilege. I will tell you what I believe in, and I will make it real short. I don't believe in white privilege. I don't believe in brown privilege. I don't believe in black privilege. That is a way of submission of the left and of the radical left. That is a way of submission to your mind to make you feel weak and to make you feel less and to make you feel that you are oppressed and that you are under a particular race or under a particular pedestal, that you never going to achieve it. I don't believe in white privilege. I don't believe in brown privilege. I don't believe in nobody's privilege. I believe in the humankind privilege that is exactly the one that you have and the one that I have. You got two legs, I got two legs. You got two arms, I got two arms. You got two hands, you got two eyes. You got a brain, you got a heart. We got exactly the same. As you have the same capabilities of moving forward and being a successful human being, I have the same capacities and same capabilities of doing what you can do. It's exactly the mentality that the Democrats and the leftists want us to think. They want us to think that we are less than a specific race. They want us to think that we are under in a specific race, that we are less. They want us to feel oppressed. They want us to think that we are a minority, that you're less. By you thinking that you are a minority, a word that is used by Democrats and leftists, they're making you think that you are minus. No. And when you step into this land right here, into this country, that is the country that everybody wants to go. That is the country that everybody wants to appreciate and live. That is the United States of America. It is the land of the free and the home of the brave. The land of equality, the land of law and order. The land that everybody has the same opportunities to proceed and be successful. So it is under you that if you think that you're oppressed, it's because you're thinking that you cannot succeed, that you cannot make it because of the white man, that you cannot make it because of the white privilege. It's under your mind to think that. Don't think that. When you're thinking that, you're thinking less of your persona. You're not thinking that you can achieve more. You can be that person that nobody wants you to be. You can achieve that pedestal. You can achieve that work position. You can achieve that dream that nobody wants you to achieve, that the left wants you to categorize and put you on a social class to not achieve that. It depends on what you think. It depends on what your heart says, and depends on what your mind. You gotta be strong. You don't have to listen to all these leftist pampering and brainwashing that is occurring in every country. Every country, it is occurring this. Don't listen to that. Remember, it is not the color of the skin. It is the content of the character, which is more important. God bless you all. Really interesting live feed. A little bit long, but really interesting. We did a really important interviews right here and explaining everything that is happening in terms to immigration. And, in terms to, what is happening in the process of how immigrants and how migrants and asylum seekers go into the United States of America. And there's a process now. Everybody's asking, how is this process? How is this process? So I explain it today, how the process is to go into the United States of America for people that they're not understanding how the process is for refugee and asylum, who is paying. So, this is really important for everybody to understand. God bless you all. It is late. It is around 7:58 at night. Follow my partner, Real Anthony Agüero. You can follow him at Facebook, YouTube, Parler, Orbeez. And also you can follow him at his channel in Telegram. You can follow me as Oscar L. Blue. You can follow me at Instagram as Oscar L. Blue. Also at Facebook as Oscar L. Blue. My channel in Telegram as Oscar L. Blue. And also subscribe to my channel right here on YouTube as Oscar L. Blue. God bless you all. You know, sometimes there's people that come on here and they're it's really hard to not concentrate on the live feed. I try to do my best to my manager. I try to do my best. I try to do my best. And I did my best. You know, I was avoiding the whole time, but I was like, oh my God. They're really pinching me right there on the eye. Like, right there. It's really hard. But it's okay. I like to answer sometimes, but I make it more longer. You know, I deviate from the topic. So it's not healthy sometimes. But God bless your hearts. You know, thank you so much for joining me this night on this live feed. Stay safe. And like we always say, people, peace and love, everybody, because always your country is first. God bless.